world is captivated. Jungkook BTS officially becomes ELLE Korea's cover star. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kpop Update, the place where big stories are not just told, but brought to life. Today, we're not going to show you the photos right away. We're not immediately talking about the outfits, because before all of that, we want to ask you one simple question. What does it feel like to grow up in front of the entire world and still remain true to yourself? The answer to that question is reflected in one name, Jungkook. And today, that name once again shook the world, as Jungkook BTS was officially announced as the cover star of ELLE Korea. The moment this news broke, something extraordinary happened. International media moved in unison. Social media timelines were flooded with a single face. And millions of people, without being told to do so, did the same thing. They stopped. And they looked. But let's be honest. If this were only about visuals, the reaction wouldn't be this deep. What truly captivated the world was not just how Jungkook looks, but what he represents. Because Jungkook is not just an idol. He is a story of journey, of time, of growth that was never instant. Imagine this. A young boy who left home at a very early age, arriving in Seoul with a big dream, never knowing that one day, the entire world would know his name. Years passed. Endless training, sweat, tears, pressure, expectations, and all of it was slowly engraved within him. Now, when ELLE Korea chooses Jungkook as their cover star, it is not a coincidence. ELLE does not search for the loudest face. ELLE searches for meaning. Someone who can deliver a message without raising their voice. And Jungkook speaks through silence. In this photo shoot, we see a different Jungkook. Calmer, more mature, more certain of who he is. His gaze doesn't ask for attention. It draws it in. Every pose feels honest. Every expression feels real. No exaggeration. No pretense. This is the definition of true charisma. Many people can look good in front of a camera, but only a few can make the camera fall in love with them. And Jungkook does it effortlessly. What's fascinating is this. He never tried to become an icon. He only tried to become better than who he was yesterday. And that is exactly why the world follows him. In the world of fashion, Jungkook is a rare phenomenon. He blends elegance and sincerity, strength and softness, masculinity and sensitivity. He makes fashion feel human. He makes concepts feel alive. He turns photographs into stories. And ELLE Korea captured that perfectly. But let's talk about something even deeper. Time. Jungkook has spent more than half of his life under the public spotlight. He learned how to grow up while the world watched and judged every step. Not many people can go through that without losing themselves. But Jungkook endured. He didn't harden his heart. In response to the pressure, he didn't build walls or retreat into silence. Instead, he chose the harder path. He chose to stay open. Open to music, even when every note carried expectations. Open to art, even when creativity came with scrutiny. Open to growth, even when growing meant confronting parts of himself the world never had to see. And all of that is unmistakably reflected in this ELLE Korea cover. This is not an image created to impress. It does not scream for approval. It does not chase trends or demand applause. This is the photograph of a man who understands who he is. A man who has walked through noise, judgment, and unimaginable pressure, and emerged not louder, but calmer, not sharper, but softer, not defensive, but grounded. This is not the photo of a star seeking validation. This is the photo of a man who has made peace with himself, and that quiet confidence, that stillness, is far more powerful than any dramatic pose or extravagant concept ever could be. For ARMY, this moment feels deeply personal, because we didn't arrive here suddenly. We didn't just wake up and see this version of Jungkook appear overnight. We witnessed the process. We remember every era, from the young boy standing nervously on stage, to the artist learning to carry the weight of global attention. We remember every performance, every comeback, every late night live, every moment where effort spoke louder than words. We saw the small changes, the way his voice matured, the way his expressions grew more intentional, the way his presence became steadier with time. All of it slowly shaping Jungkook into the artist and individual he is today. And perhaps that is why the emotions feel so strong, because this cover is not just a visual. It is a milestone, a reflection of time, of patience, of resilience. When Jungkook takes a step forward, it feels like we are stepping forward with him, because in many ways, we grew alongside him. We learned what perseverance looks like. Through his journey, we learned that evolution doesn't always come with loud declarations. Sometimes it arrives quietly, with grace. Today, Jungkook is not simply appearing on the cover of a magazine. He is cementing his position as an artist who respects his craft, as an individual who understands his own worth, as a global icon who was never built overnight, but shaped through years of dedication, discipline, and heart. This cover does not mark an ending. It marks clarity. But believe this? This is not the peak. This is a transition, a bridge between everything he has been and everything he is about to become. A moment of pause before a chapter that promises to be bigger, bolder, and even more influential. Because if there is one thing that has always remained consistent about Jungkook, it is this: he evolves. Exactly when the world thinks he has already reached everything. Just when expectations settle, he moves again. Just when silence arrives, he surprises. Today, the world is captivated. Tomorrow, the world may once again fall silent. Not because he disappeared, but because his next step will speak louder than words. And we will be right here, watching, listening, telling the story, celebrating every moment, every transformation, every quiet victory that deserves to be remembered. Stay with Pop Update, the home of great stories, global icons, and journeys worth remembering. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow armies around the world. Because stories like this are meant to be shared. See you in the next video.